Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Kansas Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to your presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of the many different sessions happening, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within a week at the same website where you registered. And now, I would like to hand it over to our first presenter, the University of Kansas.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you coming in and listening to us talk about our individual institutions. I'm going to share a PowerPoint with you. Hopefully this will work. Alrighty. So my name is John Trix. I am the admissions representative for the University of Kansas, located in Wichita, and I oversee South Central Kansas and transfer students. So a few of the big things that I want to update you on, especially about KU, is our adjustment to assured admissions. We are now test optional. So there are 3 pathways to assured admissions at KU, 3.0 GPA and a 24 on the ACT, a 3.25 GPA and a 21 on the ACT, or you can have a 3.4 cumulative GPA and no test score. Some of our professional schools do have special requirements, School of Architecture, Engineering, and Business. So the best way to go about that is to look up on their individual websites. Big deadlines I want to put out for you are December 1. As long as you apply before December 1st, you are automatically eligible for our merit-based scholarships. Those are based off of your ACT and GPA. Great scholarships. They definitely help through the process. And the other big deadlines to be aware of, we have extended, due to the difficulty in taking exams this year, we have extended our deadline, or the time you are able to take the exams, up until the end of February. So as long as you apply to KU before December 1st, you have until the end of February to update your ACT score or SAT score and move into a potentially higher scholarship bracket or for admissions purposes. So some of the main differentiators at KU, we are a member of the American Association of Universities, which means we get a majority of the federal funding available that allows us to bring in top faculty and staff from across the country, because they get opportunities to do research and they like to afford those opportunities to our students. So at KU, we are very adamant about hands-on experiential learning. Students are encouraged to get involved with their professors that are conducting research, and that doesn't necessarily just mean test tubes, lab beakers, and things of that nature. A colleague of mine who was an English major got to conduct research on transitioning 16th century English fairy tales into French. So there's a lot of really unique opportunities at KU. We have our med school, School of Pharmacy, as I mentioned before, the School of Engineering, School of Business. Our School of Education is one of the top ranked in the United States. Really great opportunities to get involved. Some other very interesting things about KU. Sorry, I gotta go back to the other slide. Here's some numbers for you. So something I like to talk about is that 19,000 undergraduate. We're not real big, but I think we're kind of in that sweet spot. I came from a very small school, and one thing I was concerned about was being lost in the number. And I definitely never felt that at KU because there are so many different opportunities to get involved and meet people. We have over 600 different student organizations on campus, ranging from academic to athletic and everywhere in between. So no matter what you're interested in, there's definitely a club for you to get involved. You know, it's really easy to meet people, and we have a lot of different housing options on campus. So that's another great way. We are currently providing students with online and hybrid methods for learning. So Students are able to attend classes in person if they want, a select few. So it's really up to what you're comfortable with and how you would prefer to attend those classes. Obviously, some majors do have more in-person options than others, such as architecture, some of the science and lab-based courses. Another thing that we really enjoy at KU is our diversity. We are very adamant about being inclusive to everyone. We are represented by all counties in Kansas, all 50 states, and over 150 different countries. And that's something I truly enjoyed while I was at KU, was getting to learn from people from different backgrounds and experience new cultures and expand my mind, in ways that you might not necessarily get to just inside the classroom. Something else, I referred to not wanting to feel lost as a number. Approximately 75% of our classes have fewer than 30 students and 88% have fewer than 50 students. So you definitely still feel like you're getting that individualized attention from your professors. They have, office hours available. So it's very easy to go in and chat with your professors, get involved in that way. Another great way we like to have students get involved is our study abroad options. We have over 110 different programs in 60 different countries, I believe it is. And we have 3 times the national average students who actually study abroad from our student body. So we are very adamant about those opportunities. There are a lot of scholarships available for students to study abroad. So if that's something that you're interested in, I would highly recommend, looking at our options. Our study abroad website allows you to search by location, major, program, whatever you're interested in. Same thing with those student organizations I mentioned earlier. We do have a great website that shows you, and you can search by interest, whatever you're into, great way to look into things. So as far as next steps, the big one I mentioned earlier would be to apply, but if you're not quite sure about that step yet, I would encourage you to fill out one of our information request forms. It's a great way to just get some general info and learn more about KU. I would also encourage you to reach out to me. My email is listed here along with my office number. I might not necessarily be your representative, but I can get you in touch. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is Baker University. Just want to remind everyone that if you have questions, please send them in the Q&A. And also, if you have a question specific to a presenter or institution, please add the name of the institution within the question so that they can answer your question. And I will hand it over to Baker University.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brittany Pagan, and I'm an admissions counselor here at Baker University. And we're going to be going over, obviously, our school and the admissions processes for us. So first, we are located in Baldwin City, which is about 20 minutes south of Lawrence and 50 minutes from Kansas City. There's about 5,000 people in the town and only about 900 students on campus. So we are a small university. It's a very quaint town, and it's really nice to be somewhere where you can focus on your academics and athletics if you're participating in those things. And then here are some of the stats that we're pretty proud of. So Baker graduates are currently earning the highest average salaries among graduates of universities in Kansas. So that could be private, public, whatever. We have a 98.6% job and graduate school placement rate. So our students have jobs lined up by graduation or are in their first or second picks for grad school, which is pretty impressive. Like I said, we have about 900 students, which puts our student to faculty ratio 13:1. So you're gonna have really small class sizes. You're really gonna get to know your professors, and that helps when it comes to building networking with alumni, with your professors for internships, job opportunities, things like that. We are a top college in Kansas, and we're also in the top 8% of colleges nationwide. So we are a small university, but mighty indeed. And then just down on the bottom right are some of the jobs that some of our alumni have had. So we have Fortune 500 CEOs, Nobel Prize winners, Pulitzer Prize winners, all kinds of stuff coming from Baker. So then getting into academics, we have over 30 majors and 45 minors to choose from, as well as some pre-professional programs. Some of our most popular majors are exercise science, psychology, and education. And our exercise science program is accredited, which is fantastic, which means that you are going to be, studying at the highest levels, which looks great on your grad school applications. We also have something that is called interterm. That's a 3-week time period in January where you take courses outside of your area of study. They're supposed to be fun courses. And we offer this because it's a liberal arts institution here at Baker. So it offers you a way to explore different avenues. And you can also study abroad during that time. So you can study abroad during a semester, a full year, a summer, or over interterm, which is great. It's a cheaper option. You get to go with classmates and a professor. So it's a great way to start traveling. We have Baker Core, which is our general ed program. And it's just a way that we kind of have students take less general ed courses. Some things are lumped together and you get to kind of choose your path. We have 4 different pathways and you get to choose which area of study. So say that you really like social issues, there's a path for social issues, and that's what you're going to study for your general ed. Then we have pre-professional programs. So we partner with different universities sometimes for these. So some of the most popular ones are the chiropractic. 3 years here at Baker, 3 years at a chiropractic school. Most students go to the one in Kansas City. Engineering, 3 years here, 2 years at a school. We have a large list that you could choose from. Our pre-nursing and our pre-law. And our pre-nursing students usually go to Baker Nursing School, which was just named the top nursing program in the state of Kansas. So we're also very proud of that as well. Then going into ways you can get involved on campus. So we do have athletics. We participate in the NAI, which is the different from the NCAA. If you're going to try and compare, if you don't know, it's kind of like a D2 school in the NCAA. We just have a few different rules for the NAIA. We have students that win conference for individual sports, as well as go to nationals for football, baseball, softball have recently gone. We also have sororities and fraternities, 4 fraternities and 3 sororities. And it's a very inclusive environment. It's a very diverse environment too. You don't have to fit a cookie cutter mold. There are all kinds of students involved in that. And it's just another home you could be a part of, another organization on campus. As well as we have 75 clubs and organizations, whether it be academic, faith, special interest, or governing. So really anything that you're interested in, there's a club for it. And if not, you could start one, which is pretty exciting. And then talking about our admissions processes. So we do have a traditional and test optional route. So the test optional is if you don't have test scores, but you have above a 3.0 GPA, you can apply as test optional. So we just need your transcript, a letter of recommendation from a high school teacher, as well as a graded writing sample. So any essay that you already have, you can turn that on in. And then we have traditional, so you can submit your test scores, ACT or SAT, and those right there are our codes, so you can send those in, as well as your transcript, and then fill out the online application. Our online application is free, so you don't have to pay for it, and it takes about 10 minutes, which is really nice. And then you choose traditional or test optional. And then just talking about a little bit of financial aid. So tuition at Baker is about $30,000, but most of that is actually covered by financial aid. So we give out $2.2 million in scholarships every single academic year. So students usually have most of their tuition covered or all of it, especially if you're involved in things on campus. There's a lot of different scholarships, whether it be academic, athletic, or participation based. So if you're like in choir or something, you could also get a scholarship, which is pretty nice. And then these are just some of the ways you can get involved on campus. We're doing virtual and on-campus visits right now. So you can go online and schedule those. And again, apply. And if you would like to contact me, there's my information. I can get you more information about Baker University. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And our next institution is Johnson County Community College. Again, just a reminder to those of you who joined us, if you have a question for our presenters, please add the name of the institution to your question so they know who needs to answer it. So thank you. Johnson County Community.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Robbie Miller, and I'm a recruiter for Johnson County Community College, and I'm going to be sharing some general information with you all about JCCC. So Johnson County Community College is located in Overland Park, Kansas, and we were actually established as a college in 1969. So last year was our 50th anniversary, excuse me. Currently, we have over about 18,000 students that attend our institution. So our student population is very large, and we also have 24 buildings on our campus. So our campus as a whole is pretty large as well. That's what kind of makes us unique for a community college. Currently, our student to faculty ratio is 16:1. So essentially what that means is our class sizes are pretty small. Students typically don't have more than 30 students in their classes. So I think a lot of people really enjoy that. And your professors and your instructors definitely get to know who you are since our class sizes are pretty small. I definitely want to talk about the different types of degrees and certificates that we offer at our institution. So we currently have 99 areas of study at JCCC, and we break those down into associate degree programs and certificate programs. So with the associate degree programs, those are 2-year programs, and we have 44 of those in total. So here are a few examples. We have accounting, cosmetology, emergency medical science, game development, metal fabrication and welding technology, railroad operations, and then the list goes on from there. To check out the complete list of the degrees and certificates that we offer at JCCC and the requirements that are associated with each degree and certificate, specifically the different types of classes that you would have to take in order to earn that degree or certificate. This is our student center building on campus, and this is kind of like the front door to our campus. So this is where people can come if they're wanting to just kind of find out about JCCC if they don't know any information about it. It's also the place where people can come for campus visits. They can come there to visit our bookstore. We have a counseling department there. Our financial aid department is located there, and just a variety of other resources for students when they're kind of starting out at JCCC or as they are continuing their time at JCCC. And I also wanted to point out some kind of enrollment steps that we have. So anytime that a student wants to start taking classes with us at JCCC, the very first thing that they have to do is fill out our application for admission. So the web address that you can see here on the screen next to the first bullet point is where you would go to access our application that's available online. It's completely free to fill out, so there is no fee associated with it, and it maybe takes 20 to 25 minutes at the most to complete. So it's very simple. It's really just us asking you a few questions about yourself and kind of what you would like to do at JCCC and then what you would like to do after. One thing I do like to mention to people is that Johnson County Community College does not have a GPA requirement for students to become a student there or an ACT score requirement. So if you apply, you will be accepted. And then I also want to mention tuition. So the amount of money that you would have to pay to be a student at Johnson County Community College. So we base our tuition off of residency, meaning that we base it off of where you live. And so we have a few different categories here. So if you are a Johnson County resident, meaning you live in Johnson County, Kansas, you would pay $94 per credit hour to attend our institution. Then if you are a non-Johnson County resident, that means you live in the state of Kansas, but you do not live in Johnson County. So you may live in Douglas County, Shawnee County, Sedgwick County, Wyandotte County, so a different county in the state of Kansas. That's $112 per credit hour to attend our institution. Then our metro rate, that's for our students who live in the state of Missouri, but they have to live in zip codes that start with 640 or 641 in the state of Missouri to be eligible for that rate, and that's $138 per credit hour. Then our non-resident rate, so that would mean that you live outside of Johnson County, Kansas, outside of the state of Kansas, or outside of the metro rate, or you hold a visa, that's $223 per credit hour. And then lastly, for our students who are age 60 plus, they pay $16 per credit hour to attend our institution. We do offer athletics at Johnson County Community College. So we are part of the NJCAA, which is the National Junior College Athletic Association. So currently we offer baseball, basketball for men and women, soccer for men and women, dance for men and women, and we also offer softball and volleyball. We also offer clubs and organizations. So if you're looking to get involved on campus, we have more than 80 plus clubs and orgs. And so these are the different kind of areas where you could get involved in. So we have academic honorary, we have clubs and orgs through the different college departments and offices we have on our campus, community service, multicultural and diversity, and then support as well. So we have a lot for students to choose from. And then these are just a few pictures of kind of student life on campus. I always like to show that to people. And then lastly, this is my contact information. So if you ever would like to reach out to me for more information, definitely feel free to do so. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And our next institution will be Kansas City, Kansas Community College. Again, just want to remind everyone, please add the name of the institution to which you are directing the question to. Thank you.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Jeremiah McClooney and I'm the Admissions Operations Coordinator for Kansas City, Kansas Community College. Thank you for this opportunity to speak with you today about our college. Let me go ahead and share my video. Sorry about that. All right, so Kansas City, Kansas Community College is an open, public, open door, urban, comprehensive community college located in Kansas City, Kansas. So we're open doors, so like Johnson County, we're not looking at your ACT or your GPA scores to determine whether or not you get accepted. As a community college, our purpose is to make sure that the students in our area who want the opportunity to go to school are able to do so without the obstacle of meeting certain requirements that they might not have met while they were in high school. And then we're comprehensive as well, so we offer both academic and technical, academic degrees as well as technical certifications. So if the traditional college classroom experience is not really what you're interested in, we still have a way for you to continue pursuing your education at this level. We offer nearly 100 degrees. We're at 98 degrees and certificates programs. They come in different categories, whether they be Associate of Arts, Associate of General Studies, or Associate of Science degrees. Those are all designed to prepare students to transfer to the four-year college experience. And then we offer Associate of Applied Science degrees, as well as technical certificates, which are designed to take students directly into the workforce. The difference between those, with the first category, you're going to get a lot of your general education and more foundational first 2 years of a four-year college experience with those. And with the other ones, you won't get nearly any general education classes. Most of the coursework that you'll do for those AAS degree and then the technical certificates is directly related to the type of work that you'll do in your career. Although we are a community college and most people think of us being a two-year institution, we have programs ranging in length from as short as 8 weeks to about 3 to 3.5 years for some of those more specialized trades. Here's just a quick view of our programs. And like my friend from Johnson County said, you can visit our website to find out more about the specific programs as well as the degree requirements that go along with each of those. We have a pretty straightforward admissions process as an open admissions policy school. Again, if you apply to the college, you will be accepted. do your application. The application is free. Go to kckcc.edu to click on apply, and you'll be taken to the place where you'll create your account and do the application. We do require students to take the Active Placer Placement Test as a means of determining what kind of classes you should start off with. It's not a pass-fail test. It won't keep you in or get you into the school or keep you out of it. We just want to make sure that we start you with the appropriate level of classes. This year, we have moved to a multiple measures model of placement. So in addition to your Active Placer scores, we would also accept ACT scores if they were meeting a certain threshold, as well as your high school transcript with looking at your grades in your senior English and your Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 classes compared to your overall GPA. So we have multiple measures on which we can determine placement. For my seniors here, the FAFSA became available on October 1st this year. So if you have not applied for financial aid yet with the FAFSA, go ahead and get that done as soon as possible. But don't limit yourself to federal aid. Be looking for other types of financial aid from scholarships. Make sure you're working with your counselors and doing your own research to see what kind of scholarship opportunities are available out there. We will need you to get your high school transcript in, and the rest of it is pretty straightforward of what you would do to get into any college. As far as our tuition rate, we also base our tuition based off of your residency. So for our Wyandotte County residents, our tuition rate is $82 per credit hour, but I'm going to put a pin in there. The numbers that you see here are just tuition. There are also student and technology fees that go along with it of $22. So let me do that math for you. If you're a Wyandotte County resident, your tuition rate, including technology and student fees, is $104 per credit hour. Anywhere else outside of Wyandotte County, but in Kansas, is $110 per credit hour. That is also the case if you take online classes. It doesn't matter where you live, what your residency is, what your citizenship status is. If you take a class online, it's $110 per credit hour. Students who might be in the metro area on the Kansas City, Missouri side, your tuition rate would be $135 per credit hour. So for 1 year, including books and tuition, you could expect to pay less than $5,000 for the entire year's worth of education. Going back to financial aid and not limiting yourself to just the Pell Grant, we offer various academic scholarships. Our academic scholarships are specifically for our students from Wyandotte County. However, we have other categories of scholarships that are open to anyone, such as our athletic scholarships, our foundation scholarships, as well as our performance grants. So if you have special talents for music, theater, debate, journalism, those are all great ways that you can earn scholarships, with amounts varying from partial scholarships all the way to full tuition, and some of them even include your books as well. We do have various resources to help make sure that you're successful as a student, from free tutoring for any subject that we offer. We have a counseling center to help with mental health counseling, as well as career counseling. If you're unsure what it is that you want to study, you know you want to go to college but not sure what your career path should be, our career counselors can help you with that. We have accessibility office that help you with your various support needs as far as accommodations and learning styles. We do have athletics. We're a part of the KJCCC as well. We offer baseball, basketball, golf, and soccer for men, baseball, softball, soccer, and volleyball for women. And lastly, I just encourage students to find some way to get involved in class or on campus outside of going to class, whether it be for fun or to network with people in your similar major. Just find a way to be committed to the school outside of class. It really will help supplement and make your college experience more memorable. If you have any questions, I can be reached at the information that you see here on your screen, and I look forward to hearing from you and help you navigate your college experience process. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our next institution that you'll hear from is Highland Community College. Please continue to ask your questions through the Q&A, and also make sure you add the institution's name if you're directing a question to a specific institution. So I'll hand it over.
I'm not quite sure. Is it showing my screen on there?
Yes.
Okay. So sorry about that. My name is Allison Johnson, and I'm with Highland Community College. I actually work in admissions and financial aid out of our technical center in Atchison, Kansas. And on the other side, doing the Q&A, if you guys have any questions, is Ben Counts. He's our most recent admissions representative, and he's also the head coach for our esports as well, which was added in the past couple years or so. So Highland, an overview, although we are a smaller community college in a small area, northeastern Kansas, we have quite a few options for students depending on what type of classes you would like. We obviously have that traditional face-to-face instruction at any of our sites. We also have a couple technical centers, one here in Atchison and then one in Baileyville, our Western Center. They have more of those hands-on focused trainings, the skilled trades that are becoming more and more popular and in demand. So we have those technical areas. And then we also have online courses and then hybrid, which are a combination of the face-to-face and online classes. And you can see kind of a map there, all of our different locations. Highland is going to be our more traditional kind of main campus area. The Western Center and Technical Center, and then rounding out with regional centers in Wamego and Perry. Just a brief overview, kind of looking at numbers. Highland is quite affordable when it comes to community colleges within the state of Kansas, so those 2-year public institutions. And then, you know, compared to even the 4-year public, private, and within Kansas, and then your public institutions in Missouri. So those numbers for those other institutions are going to be averages based off of housing, tuition, and fees over a number of schools or institutions. But then Highland, you can see that figure there is based off of your yearly cost for housing, tuition, and fees based on 30 credit hours of enrollment. Looking at cost a little bit more in depth, tuition and fees, you can kind of see the breakdown. The nice thing is with us being right on the Missouri and kind of close to Iowa and Nebraska as well, we do not have a difference between in-state and out-of-state tuition and fees. It's one flat rate across the board. You can see that technical and nursing tuition is going to be just a little bit higher than those general education courses, but you know, that total there, the 105 pretty much across the board for most general education courses, that plus a $15 textbook rental fee is what you would be looking at per credit hour. Scholarship areas, so students that live in housing on the Highland campus should be on a scholarship. I kind of call it an automatic. It covers tuition and book rental, which could be upwards of about $2,100 for the year. And those sometimes do coincide with your major or area of study, and sometimes it's just an interest area. So if you're coming to us to study in education, start your first 2 years, and then, but you also have an interest in art or theater, vocal music, or an athletic area, then you could definitely sign a scholarship within those areas as well. Housing, so we do have housing available on the Highland campus, and it is apartment style housing. So it could be just 2 of you within that apartment up to 4, or, you know, it's a wide range. But you do have a full-size kitchen, full-size appliances available, which is kind of nice. You have your own bathroom that's, you know, then shared between you and your roommates. And just to kind of look a little bit more at the different floor plans that we do have available, you can kind of see sometimes there's 2-bedroom up to 4-bedroom, and some are going to be single occupancy bedrooms, some are going to be double. Those are an option to look at if you ever do a campus tour, or even some of our virtual tours that we have as well. Athletics, we have a number of athletic areas that Scotty's compete in. 2 of our newest are going to be esports that started a year or 2 ago, and then women's soccer has come on this year. So along with that, we have your more traditional, I guess, or well-known baseball, cheerleading, track and field, volleyball, football, women's basketball, men's basketball. So a number of areas to compete in. And then, you know, any student that's a student with Highland obviously gets into free for those games or competitions. On the other side of, you know, what else we have to offer, we do have a number of clubs and organizations. Some of them are listed here. So student life, they try to keep pretty active, you know, events and clubs and organizations. Since Highland is a smaller community, we try to have a lot for our students to be involved in, become engaged in, get out and meet people and take a break from studying. On the other side of that, activities and events that they usually have each year, and then intramural sports that are available. And student life is really open to if somebody new has a new idea, a new activity or something like that. If we can make it happen, then by all means, we're going to make that happen for our students. I did mention the technical fields. So we do have 1- and 2-year programs based off of full-time enrollment. So if you're looking for more in those skilled trade areas, we have those that are listed, you know, HVAC and plumbing, some of our nursing areas, practical nursing, and the LP into RN completion program, precision agriculture, electrical, diesel. So we have a number of areas that students can study. And that's to work towards your technical certificate, but with our programs, you can also work towards an associate's degree with some of those. Once again, online, we have a number of online courses offering, you know, sometimes adding from year to year new ones. So you can always reach out if you need to just take a couple courses to supplement where you're attending. And then as always, so, you know, we can definitely request more info from us, visit us, either a virtual tour or on the Highland campus, and then definitely apply. Application is free and open to students. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Our next institution is Cleveland University, Kansas City. This is our last presenter, so be sure to ask any questions that you have in the Q&A and address them to whatever institution you are asking the question to. So I'll hand it over to Cleveland University, Kansas City.
Thank you so much. My name is Caroline Beckett, and I am an admissions advisor at Cleveland University, Kansas City. We are a chiropractic and health science college. We are located in Overland Park, Kansas. Healthcare is specifically what we focus in. All of our programs and majors are related back to the healthcare field. We were actually founded in 1922, so coming up in 2022, we're going to be celebrating our 100th anniversary. The current president of our university is Dr. Carl Cleveland III, so it was actually his grandparents that founded the school back in 1922, and we are still overrun by the founding family today. What I'm going to do today is give you just a little bit of information on the programs that we offer here at Cleveland. So our most popular programs, starting off with our undergrad degrees, is going to be our Bachelor's of Science in Human Biology. This is a pre-med program, and it's a little bit different from your typical university because all of our programs are accelerated. So this pre-med bachelor's degree you can earn in 3 years instead of 4. So saving you a year of time in the long run when you're thinking about going into any of these medical field. So chiropractic, we will kind of talk a little bit more about that later, but that could be osteopathic medicine, physical therapy, dental, whatever kind of med school program you want to get into. Our human biology degree is kind of going to set you up for success for that. As I kind of mentioned with our accelerated degrees, our courses are offered in 8-week sessions instead of 16-week long semesters. So we have start dates 6 times a year for these programs. And due to that, we are kind of on a rolling admission cycle. So there's no hard applications for when you need to turn in your deadlines, turn in things in and things like that. Our admissions requirements for the bachelor's degree program is going to be a 2.5 GPA in your high school coursework and a 21 on your ACT. If you don't have an ACT score, we do have another option that you can do where you come take an entrance assessment on our campus in lieu of submitting your ACT score. I am also excited to announce that starting in 2021, we will actually be offering another accelerated bachelor's degree program that's focused in exercise science. Currently with our human biology degree, you can do it concurrently with our Doctor of Chiropractic program, which I'll talk a little bit more about later. But with that concurrent degree, you can actually earn your bachelor's and your doctorate in 6 years' time. So you would be able to do that with our exercise science degree that we're launching next year as well. The next two programs I want to talk to you guys about are our associate level degree programs. So we offer 2 associate degrees. One is an Associate of Applied Science in Radiologic Technology. So these are the people that are taking diagnostic imaging exams at a hospital. Our program trains you to be a rad tech, so that is taking x-rays at a hospital. But a lot of times rad techs will get other certifications after they've been on the job to be able to do things like MRI, ultrasound, and CT. But rad tech is kind of the foundation of that pyramid to build upon. So the more credentials you get, the more opportunity you have for a higher salary in the field, and there's a lot of growth there. Our rad tech program is you have to have 24 hours of general education courses before you start the core coursework. But once you're in the core program, it's only 16 months long before you're able to graduate and sit for your licensing exam. So far, we have 100% pass rate for the licensing exams and 100% employment rate for the rad tech program. The next program I want to touch on is our Associate of Applied Science and Occupational Therapy Assistant. Similarly to the rad tech program, it requires 24 hours of general education classes before you can start the core OTA coursework. It's the same 24 hours of gen eds for both programs. Again, once you get into the core occupational therapy assistant program, it's 16 months long before you graduate and sit for your licensing exam. And your clinical rotations will actually start in the second semester of that program. So you really only have 1 semester where you're fully in class before you're out in the community getting your hands on patients and things like that. Just like our rad tech program, our OTA degree has 100% pass rate on their licensing exams and 100% employment rate for our students. So we're very proud of that. The next program I want to talk to you guys about is the Doctor of Chiropractic program. So the word chiropractic itself means done by hand. It is a holistic approach to healthcare, meaning that it's non-invasive. Chiropractors do not prescribe any medication. It's all about hands-on care. You might have remembered earlier in Baker's presentation, they talked about how they had a 3+3 program for chiropractic. That is with us here at Cleveland University, Kansas City. So we partner with quite a few schools across Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri, Iowa, and Oklahoma and Arkansas to provide that 3+3 program. So that would be where you do 3 years of undergrad at one of those institutions. And then after your 3rd year, you come to Cleveland and start in the doctorate program. And by the end of the 1st year of the chiropractic program, some of the science classes you take are going to transfer back to your original institution so that you can be awarded your bachelor's degree. So that's something really great that we have to offer. Again, like I mentioned, you can also come to Cleveland right out of high school and do our concurrent bachelor's degree and still earn it in 6 years' time. The chiropractic program has slightly different admissions requirements than our undergrad programs. For the Doctor of Chiropractic program, you need a 3.0 in your college coursework in order to get admitted into the program. Chiropractic is really great for somebody who wants to go into healthcare, but also wants to be an entrepreneur. Most chiropractors own their own practices, so they get to set their own schedules and see their patients on their own time without having to be on call. So chiropractic is a really great field too for work-life balance. Our application process, as I mentioned earlier, since we have multiple start dates a year for all of our programs, we're on a rolling admission cycle, but we usually say apply 3 to 6 months in advance. We have an online application. We do have a $50 application fee, but it's actually waived for the rest of the month of October. And then I will skip ahead a couple of slides so that you guys can see my contact information. If you guys are interested in shadowing a professional in any of the programs I talked about today, we can help set you up to do that. So just make sure that you reach out to me and I would love to connect you with any more information. Thank you.
Great. Thank you again to all of our presenters for the great information that you were able to provide to all of our students who are joining us today. If you have any questions, please take these last couple minutes to send them through the Q&A, and the representatives will be able to address your question either before we wrap the session, or they will follow up with you at a later time as well. So just some last minute remarks. Before we end the session, when you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. And also, this was just one of the many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. And in about a week, you'll be able to find the session recordings, as well as any other sessions recordings that you've attended at the same place where you registered. So again, thank you to the presenters, and thank you for joining us today.